Welcome to Balderton's 7 for 7 ministry. I'm Leah. Today's talk is about kindness. November the 13th was World Kindness Day. Kindness was the theme for this year's Mental Health Awareness Week. Random acts of kindness and senseless acts of beauty was a movement that started in California in 1982. And there are now many groups, real and online, dedicated through small challenges to transforming themselves and the world around them through kindness. Jesus said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is this: love your neighbour as yourself." And this Jesus said, "A new command I give to you. Love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another." The other morning I was talking to a customer who was devastated that a man she knew had committed suicide, leaving behind a young family. She'd only just heard, and she was struggling to process everything and trying to decide if the man was brave or selfish, trying to understand and make sense of things, wishing he'd felt able to ask for help and that he'd known that there was someone he could turn to. There's a very strong online tradition that if you see a particular message, you repost it and share it. And the most common one and the most important one is this: if you're looking for a sign to stay alive tonight, this is it. Please stay safe. And remember, you are loved. The phone number for the Samaritans is 116 123. For Childline, 0800 1111. And for Mind, the mental health charity, 0300 123 3393. I'll give these numbers again at the end, and they'll be posted in a link after the video. One day, a teacher asked her students to list the names of other students in the room on 2 sheets of paper, leaving a space between each name. Then she told them to think of the nicest things they could say about each of their classmates and write it down. It took the remainder of the lesson time to finish the task, and as the students left the room, each one handed in the papers. That Saturday, the teacher wrote down the name of each student on a separate sheet of paper and listed what everyone else had to say about the individual. On Monday, she gave each student his or her list. Before long, the entire class was smiling. "Really?" she heard whispered. "I never knew I meant anything to anyone. And I didn't know others liked me so much." Those were just some of the comments. And nobody ever mentioned those papers in class again. She never knew if they discussed them after class or with their parents, but it didn't matter. The exercise had accomplished its purpose. The students were happy with themselves and one another. The group of students moved on. Several years later, one of the students was killed whilst on active service, and his teacher attended the funeral of that special student. The church was packed with his friends. One by one, those who loved him took a last walk by the coffin, including the teacher. As she stood there, one of the soldiers who acted as a pallbearer came up to her. "Were you Mark's teacher?" he asked. She nodded, "Yes." And he said, "Mark talked a lot about you." After the funeral, most of Mark's former classmates were together for a lunch. Mark's mother and father were there, obviously waiting to speak with the teacher. We want to show you something, his father said, taking a wallet out of his pocket. We found this on Mark when he was killed. We thought you might recognise it. Opening the wallet, he carefully removed 2 worn pieces of paper that had obviously been taped, folded and refolded many times. The teacher knew without looking that the papers were the ones which she had listed all the good things each of Mark's classmates had to say about him. "Thank you so much for doing that," Mark's mum said. As you can see, Mark treasured it. All of Mark's former classmates started to gather round. One smiled sheepishly and said, "I still have my list. It's in the top drawer of my desk at home." Someone's wife said, "He asked me to put it in our wedding album." "I have mine too," said someone else. "It's in my diary." Then another classmate reached into her bag, took out her wallet and showed her list to the group. "I carry it with me at all times." I think we all saved our lists. Take the time to tell those you love them and appreciate them while you can. The thing is, how can we be kind when we can't go anywhere, see anyone, hold anyone, when we can't live our lives as we're used to doing? There are hundreds and thousands of ideas online, so many that you sometimes don't know where to start. Don't know if you remember one of these from school. I'm sure we all remember them from our childhood. There's no universally recognised name for them. I think we've probably all got our names for them. We all recognise them, but we couldn't say what they are. This time, this is a kindness picker. And again, I'll post a link at the end with instructions how to make your own. But if you unfold, inside, there's the numbers where you make your choices. There's just a few inside on here, but they're all ones we can do, whether we're near someone or far away. Tell someone 3 reasons why they're special to you. Do chores without being asked. Call someone just to say hello. Compliment someone. Write a thank you note for a key worker. Give your spot in line to someone else, a really hard challenge at the moment. Make someone laugh, and you might be able to laugh a little yourself. Make decorations at home. Most years I complain when I see Christmas decorations too early, but this year seeing lights and decorations in people's windows, around the town, in houses, each is a little spot of light in the darkness that seems to surround us. Online, I've recently joined a knit-along group for Macmillan Cancer Care, and again, I'll post a link to that at the end. We've many chances and choices that we can make, but it's never the wrong choice to be kind. A short prayer. Father God, we thank you for each person who's shown kindness and goodness to us, for each person who's loved us and been a neighbour to us. Help us to be neighbours to those we meet, to be kind, to show your love as you have loved us. Amen. Those phone numbers again. The Samaritans, 116 123. Childline, 0800 1111. Mind, 0300 123 3393. Thank you for joining with us. Good night.